to meet you, fellas.
Nice to meet you. Norman, it's a really a pleasure. Indeed, we are a huge fans of you. So thank you for this interview. Thank you for your time. And I think the first question that we have is that, that mythical gig in Bristol that many people around the world see you there with all that crowd. What have changed in the world since that specific gig in Bristol that you made that was so huge? What have changed in the world in the music since that moment?
Well, first of all, can I just say it was in Brighton, not Bristol.
Brighton, yeah, Brighton,
Brighton is my hometown. That's where I live.
yeah, your
Um,
hometown.
what has changed is they've invented the internet. So if you look at the film of that gig, not one person was holding their phone up and filming. Everybody was there in the moment and looking around and talking to each other more. Um, what else has changed? I mean, that for my career, that was one of many leaps where I went, things got really big. Working with Spike Jones and doing really good videos like the Praise You video, that opened the world up to me. Obviously, the internet opens up the world to people. I think probably the biggest thing that's happened since then was that young people can hear club music before they're 18 years old. Before, electronic club music was never played on the radio. There was no internet. So the only time you'd hear it was when you were 18 and somebody took you to a nightclub. And you'd walk into this nightclub and it'd be like this music, and you'd be going, "Oh my God, what is this?" It's like so weird and so sexy and aggressive, and you had to be 18 before you got access to it. Nowadays, 5-year-olds can Google rave on the put the word rave in, and they will see what goes on in nightclubs. And so it means people are more people, so many more people are digging the music, which is great. But it means it's not so much our thing anymore. It's not like our little scene. It's like worldwide, and it gets distorted, and homogenized. I don't know if that word translates into Spanish, but it means everything starts to sound a bit the same. Um, and so yeah, it's gone from the underground to the overground, and it's great because there's a lot more money in the industry, so everybody's getting paid, and but at the same time, because there's money in the industry, there's a lot of people in the industry who love money more than the music, which there didn't used to be. But on the whole, I'm not grumbling about it. And I'm not like nostalgic going, oh, it's not as good as the old days. There are some things are so much better. The sound systems are so much better than they were in those days. The equipment, the things you can do visually in shows is so much better. So it's like, it balances out.
Okay, Norman, how are you? I'm Frank. As you said, today people has this, cell phones. So, what is the secret to Fatboy's team against this? Because today people only wants to film, to take a photo, but no dancing. Many DJs become angry for this trend. What do you think about it?
I'm not angry. I'm a little disappointed
Okay.
sometimes. I mean, I could understand. The thing is, if you're having a really, really good night, and I mean a really, really good night, the chances are the next day you might not remember everything that you saw and did. So it's nice to have a little memento. But rather than putting a sticker over people's phones so they can't film and banning them, I would say, how about you just film 1 minute? 1 minute, so you have a memory of what it looked like, and you can show your friends that you were there, and like, here's me, here's Fatboy, here's the crowd, and then you put your phone away and then you're in the moment for the rest of the show. I mean, that would be what I would encourage, but I would never get annoyed about it. I mean, my job is to try and make people so excited that they have to dance. And they have to put their phone down because they just want to dance more than they want to film me.
Okay. 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 Um, this year you released a new song, Role Model, after a long time.
Long time.
It's a funny song, but it has a lyrics interesting as. What is the message behind Role Model?
There's no message at all. It's just
It's only fun.
like most of my records. It's just deliberately stupid and ironic. Ironic. Just, I mean, because the irony is that everything it says in the song, I don't do any of those things. I don't smoke. I don't drink. So no, it's just ironic and stupid. And, like, I mean, all my songs, like probably Praise You is the only song that had any kind of intelligent sentiment in it. Even right here, right now. I mean, what does that mean? It means nothing. It's just right here, right now. Yet it triggers emotions. So the idea is of the music I make is just to have little things that trigger your emotion and make you happy or make you want to dance or make you feel silly. And the Role Model one is definitely in the stupid mode.
You have been about your struggles with. You are very open about your struggles with addictions and mental health. How have this experience shaped the way you approach both your career and your life today?
Well, in terms of my addictions, I luckily am 15 years clear of that. I've been in recovery for 15 years. So it was just, it was just a choice of, do I want to be alive and doing my job or do I want to get smart, So that was almost a decision that was made for me. It was like, if I want to stay alive, I have to stop doing this. And then the rest of it, I mean, I find on the mental health front, I find music is a really good way of easing a troubled mind. The emotions that it brings and the peace and the tranquility that music can bring to you is quite a powerful tool in anybody's mental therapy. In fact, to the point that once a month I do a DJ workshop for people with mental health problems, where just for a couple of hours we just mess around on the decks. And I'm not really teaching them how to DJ. I'm just teaching them how much fun you can have playing around with a mixer and with effects and with music. And just for a minute, it will take them out of, if their head is whirring too much, maybe their head will stop whirring. Or if they are crippled with anxiety, it might relieve that stress. So it's really interesting for me to see the power that music has to heal the mind.
Nice. Okay, and I think your daughter, it's a great support in this.
Your stability, like
My stability, yeah. I mean, my daughter and I are very, very close. And because I'm not with her mother, we spend most of the time together, just the two of us. So it's a very strong bond, and it's yeah. I don't know. Did you see her DJing with me during lockdown?
Yeah. What do you think about your daughter wants to be a DJ? A producer.
She hasn't carried it on. That was just a kind of lockdown thing, and she did one gig. And she absolutely smashed it. And everyone was like, "Oh, do you want to do more?" She's like, "No." She said, "I want to go back to being a 10-year-old."
Okay.
So, but she does love music. She really loves music. So, and obviously me and her mother are both like in showbiz. So she's probably going to end up doing something like that. My son, her elder brother, he's a full-time DJ. So it's kind of with two DJs as parents, you're probably going to end up doing it.
Talking about the gigs, you are like you continues to headline the most important shows or festivals around the world. What do you? I don't know. Do you have like a schedule to choose the festivals that you are taking on? I don't know, you have this balance between your life, your gigs. What do you prefer? Go to festivals, or that intimate clubs, club presentations?
It's a balance between many different things. It's a balance between not working so hard that I'm not a good dad, so not working all year, but working a lot. I mean, I do 100 shows a year, but then within the shows, it was like I love small shows. I love intimate shows. I love clubs. The festivals are kind of exciting, but they're kind of hard work, and you can't really they feel like work to me, the festivals. Whereas I go to a nightclub, I'm playing. I'm not working. I'm just having fun with everybody. But obviously, financially we have to balance the bigger shows with the smaller shows. And we try and keep it varied. So I'm not playing the same set every night, and I'm not playing to the same, size of crowd. So yeah, over the like I said, I think we're on 108 shows this year, and the smallest has been in a pub to 50 people.
Okay.
And the biggest has been like 50,000 festival. But
Okay.
I prefer the small ones. I think if you ask any DJ, that we always prefer the small shows.
You're coming to Mexico on November 1st.
Yeah.
I think you like Mexico City because
I always like Mexico City.
Yeah.
I've never been in Mexico City on the Day of the Dead.
Yeah. It's
It's
an important date.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's important day
an
for us.
important day, and I'm very, very, it's taken me all my life to manage to be in Mexico on that day. So I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, like you said, when you choose, these are the things you choose. It's like I get offered a whole bunch of shows. It's like, well, I haven't been to Mexico for ages. I always love Mexican crowds, and it's on the Day of the Dead. I'm like, I'm in. Sign me up.
And Mexicans really, really love you since the first time we see you. I think was like 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
The first time you came to Mexico, that I was working in another radio station in that moment, and it was crazy. You see all the people for a DJ set, all the lines, all the crowd outside the venue was like, man, what is happening here? Was Fatboy Slim giving his first gig in Mexico? And I remember really with so much love and so much. I see you that day. I have an interview with you. You signed me in that moment one CD. You have you have come a long way, baby. I have that CD. Like it's one of my biggest treasures in the life. But let's begin with the interview. Sorry, I have to say electronic music is evolving with new technologies like these shows with virtual reality, in immersive experience. Are you thinking to experience with these innovations in your performance?
Yeah, we're all. I mean, you're always looking for. I mean, the basic thing, or the basic groove of what we do never really changes. The basic, the records don't sound that different. They're just made with different machines and the equipment that you DJ with. So the basic groove is the same, but you're always looking for a new way of it looking or feeling. Yeah, I mean, I did a VR show. I did a VR show where we created a whole virtual gig that couldn't exist. So like some of the gig happened in midair, and at some point I was playing on the top of a bus. And then so we did a kind of a virtual reality show. We at the moment we've been doing the immersive shows where if we can find a space where you project on all four walls. I've been doing that. I did some experimental shows in Brighton, and when the venues are ready and they've got the technology, we're ready to do an immersive 360 show. So yeah, and AI at the moment is allowing us to do a whole load of new stuff that we couldn't do. And we're experimenting, like we can kind of make me become different people on stage. Hopefully
Nice.
live fairly soon. Like messing around in the videos, making, distorting people's face. We're just working on a thing where I just become Jack Nicholson. I carry on DJing, but I'm Jack Nicholson, and then next minute I'm, Andy Warhol.
Okay, Norman. Finally, we don't have a Fatboy Slim ID here on the radio station, so we would like to record an ID.
Yeah, sure.
The name of the station, it's like this, Beat 100.9, and this year we celebrate our 20th anniversary. We are the only Mexican radio station, the only that plays electronic music.
All the time.
Okay. Here we go then. Still, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is Fatboy Slim. You're listening to Beat 100.9. And I would just like to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy 20th birthday, Beat 100.9. From Fatboy Slim.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
All
much. We see you here in Mexico.
You might have to put auto-tune on that.
We are going to sample and make an ID. Can we make that?
Yeah, of course.